Hello everyone and welcome to a little special video talking about a couple of games that you guys really shouldn't miss out on Steam Next Fest, as we have a couple of great strategy games that just got free demos in the Steam Next Fest that I have to talk about. First of which being Menace, and as a big fan of Battle Brothers, I obviously absolutely am excited for the follow-up, which goes in a pretty different direction, though the base gameplay system is still similar. So instead of fantasy mercs, you are now space marine mercs, and your mercenary company has to be led through combat with big bad space factions, space pirates, and other things. It is still ground combat, so yeah, you go from planet to planet and fight through an follow-up of battles and get around there, trying to uh, get as many of them killed, having as few of yours killed as possible, getting loot, improving your weapons, going through the loadouts, using vehicles here as well, and leveling up your squads, moving them around over the battlefield, trying to get more and more done. And yep, the demo gets you one planet run that is procedurally generated. The squads that you have are based on the same characters, but you can modify them with the items that you gain throughout the run freely. So you can get a bit of a feeling for how this game will feel. Though the bigger process, obviously, how the long campaigns really play out, is still to be seen. But I'm absolutely excited for it. It is a blast to play through this. And yeah, in 2 or 3 hours you are through it, but it's quite a lot of fun and should get you hyped up for the base game itself, coming out early 2026. So let's move on to the next game. And the next game on the list is Strategos, which should get all of you Total War fans hyped up for the first time in this video, as this has some Rome Total War vibes for sure, where you can use your units around, but there are order delays, and the game tries to be a bit more authentic than Rome, and it is mostly focused on the battles. There is no overarching campaign map, so it is all about the battles. And in the demo, you can play with 4 factions, including the Romans, the Carthago, and Syracuse, the Seleucids here on the other side. Out of a couple a dozen factions in the final game, so the amount of factions will be immense that you will get access to in the end. And yeah, you can play in quick battles here, test it out. The graphics obviously aren't quite modern Total War level. They are relatively simple, but it is about the more complex combat system and all the stats that you get there that this game will try to achieve its main appeal through, with Hastati and Principes fighting against phalanxes in a way that Total War hasn't given us in a while. So this is pretty cool, and the battles already look quite massive. So I'm quite excited to see how this one will come out in the long run. And until then, we'll have fun with the demo here. Next on the list is a really renowned series with its newest title, Heroes of Might and Magic: The Olden Era. And I already played this in multiplayer in a previous playtest quite a bit, so I already had quite a lot of fun there. The demo is single player, and it is quite a lot of fun as well. Classic Heroes of Might and Magic playstyle, where you take your faction and you recruit new units, you wander over a world map, and then fight in direct combat with, for example, the necromancers, let your skeleton armies and dread knights fight the enemy, or you move around and go for the good side with some noble knights and so on. And the gameplay loop is pretty classic. There is nothing new in it, but the stuff that is in it is playing pretty smooth, and I'm quite excited to get this classic kind of title back into action again and see maybe the revival of a series that was really big in the past I hope it can be big once more, as yeah, strategy titles in general could use something like a Heroes of Might and Magic in there. And yeah, let's have a look on my favorite title out of all the demo titles in the final one. And then we come to my favorite game and my favorite demo with Master of Command, a game that launches already at the 27th of October as well, so you don't have to wait for too long after playing the demo for playing the full thing. And this is a game that really gets the Total War vibe mixed in with a bit of Battle Brothers when it comes to the campaign process, but the battles really have the Total War feeling. The graphics are 2.5D really cute paintings in the style of the Armchair Historian, who's also the guy behind the studio that made this game. And the game is looking really promising. It's a lot of fun, and in the demo you also can play relatively deep into it with the Prussians in 1/3 of the main campaign, as this is a roguelike where you play with your little army and you advance over time and get it better and better stuff, whilst also fighting battles in real time with massive units on both sides and a couple of thousand units on the battlefield in the biggest of battles. And you get loot, you level up, and you get deeper and deeper, and then try to beat boss armies in the end to move on into the next chapter. And at the end, if you beat the final army, you unlock new stuff for your next run. You unlock new armies that you can play with 5 nations. There are the Russians, the British, the French, the Austrians under the Habsburgs, and the Prussians, obviously, under Friedrich II. And you can do a lot of cool stuff on the map. You can do a lot of cool stuff in the fights, and I'm really just excited to test this game out more, and also really excited for the full release of this one.